That's just a small part of the NBC News exclusive interview with abuse survivors and their families of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The group is speaking out publicly at the same time that the House committee investigating Epstein released the first batch of files related to the deceased sex offender. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Subramanyam of Virginia. He's a member of that House Oversight Committee that's doing that investigation. Let's keep the focus where it should be, which is on the survivors, some of whom spoke to Hallie Jackson yesterday, many of whom were behind closed doors with members of your committee, as well as the Speaker of the House, talking about their experience and demanding transparency, is my understanding. Talk about what you heard in that room.
Yeah, they want the files released. They want more investigation. The reality is they've been in rooms like that before with powerful people who promised to stand up for them and promised them justice, and only to turn around and cover up or even betray them in different ways. And so they've been in that situation before, but they still come forward because this is not just about them in their minds. This is about every single abuse victim. And the question that one person asked is, are we going to be a country that holds victims, that holds perpetrators accountable no matter how rich and how powerful they are? Or are we going to continue to cover up for the rich and powerful? And so this cover up goes all the way to the top this time. And what they want is the files released. They even want their own files released. Some of them don't even know what the government has about their own personal cases, and they want to read that. And so I think they deserve the files released. They deserve justice. They deserve more investigation. And this is about every single abuse victim, past, present, and future, and about protecting them. And so it was really nice to meet with them, to see their bravery and see why we're doing this in the first place.
Yeah, it sounded like it was a really emotional meeting. And it also comes as we're seeing the first batch of Department of Justice documents that were sent over to the Oversight Committee be made public. Of course, this is what Ranking Member Garcia said at the time. A lot of these were already public anyway. So where does this then go next? I mean, when is the next rolling batch from DOJ expected to come?
I don't know. The reality is they're releasing stuff that's mostly public, and it's not helpful, right? And it's selective. And so what we need is everything released. And it's the simplest thing. It's easy. The president should just say that we're going to release all the files, and the DOJ should release them, and that's it, right? And so the problem that we're having is that it seems like oversight Democrats have to keep pushing, and oversight Republicans are either cautious or aiding and abetting the president's cover-up in this case. And so they campaigned on this, right? And Kash Patel was out there saying that there's this cover-up by the Biden administration, and now they're in charge. They're the deep state now, right? So it's their time now to release the files. They owe it to the victims. It's what the victims want. The victims want a full investigation. They told us to follow the money, so they want bank records. They said that we'll find the names will pop out of the paper, is what one person said. And so we deserve to find those names. The other thing is we're going to try to continue to push to subpoena more people. I think there's not been enough people subpoenaed. It took us a long time to get to subpoena Alex Acosta. Yeah. He was not on the original subpoena list that Republicans put forward. And so we're going to continue to pressure Republicans and this administration to get answers from more people that the victims say have a lot of information.
And Acosta is supposed to do testimony with you guys later in September. I think it could be as easy as the president saying release all the files, but he has obviously shown that he's not going to do that. He doesn't want to continue talking about this despite having campaigned on it. And so it does leave it either to Congress or to the Oversight Committee. And the reason that I split those two things apart is because there is a discharge petition in bipartisan fashion from Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna that is getting signatures this week. They need to get to 218 in order to compel some kind of a vote on the floor. But then you listen to the Speaker, Mike Johnson, yesterday saying, well, because the Oversight Committee is investigating, I don't really think that discharge petition is necessary. Where does that leave it in terms of what the next congressional steps actually look like? Do you think that this discharge petition actually gets a vote? Because it does seem like they have the signatures.
Yeah, two things. One, that discharge petition, Republicans have been saying over and over again that they too want accountability. They too want to see the files. Well, it's very easy. Just sign the petition. Let's put it to a vote, right? Actions speak louder than words. The second thing is the Speaker wants the Oversight Committee to continue to investigate. I think that's important. We should continue to subpoena more people and do the investigation that was never done in the eyes of the victims into the entire ring. I mean, we're talking about hundreds, maybe 1,000 victims in this case. And so we should continue that investigation. But I think it should go across committees as well. Financial Services Committee, because of all the bank records, every committee should be be looking into this. This is a Congress-wide thing, and the Speaker seems very reticent to do that.
I also did think that it was very interesting that the chairman of the Oversight Committee, James Comer, said that he plans to release everything that you guys get. I mean, that's been an open question that you and I have talked about here. What does it mean to have everything if you're not going to release it publicly? If he's expecting that they're going to get the birthday book that the Wall Street Journal reported on that allegedly includes a letter from Trump around Epstein's birthday, and now Comer is saying he's going to release everything that you get. Very quickly, do you buy that? Do you think everything's going to get released?
I think the more pressure that we, as Oversight Democrats, and really the American people put on Congress, the more results that they will get. I mean, I was in elementary school when this first started. One victim said that, she was been doing this for 30 years now. Her first accusation was in 1996. I mean, that's how long they've been trying to seek justice. So we can right a very terrible wrong, a stain in our country's history, by releasing these files, by doing a thorough investigation, by getting these victims the justice they deserve.
Yeah. Congressman Subramanyam of Virginia on the Oversight Committee. I know that this is work that you are going to continue doing, and we're really thankful for it. We also ask the viewers, and you know this earlier in the show, this is always when we do this, why are you awake? A few answers this morning. Cheryl says it's peach canning season and she can't keep up with them. She's making salsa, butter, jam, and much more. What is peach salsa?
I don't know, but it sounds delicious.
Kind of sounds great.
Yeah.
Linda writes, my husband and I are heading out to Martha's Vineyard for vacation and we're on an early ferry. I'm too excited to sleep.
Vacation sounds really nice, actually.
Vacation sounds really nice. You did just come off of Bucks
I did.
You were here with us a good amount of that, though. And Jeffrey sent us this picture of the sunrise on the open water and says he's hoping to get an even better one today. That is absolutely beautiful. We're going to take that zen into the rest of our day. Congressman, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And coming up next here on Way Too Early,